Hi and welcome to this tutorial of the PEASx inventory management software. And today what we're going to learn is we're going to learn how to add a new item into the PEASx inventory management software and also categorize them into groups and categories. As we all know, groups are the larger entity and we have categories within the groups. So let's see how we can do this. To add a new item, the first thing we need to do is go to inventory. So when I open the PEASx software here, what we see is this window, which is the main window. I can go to inventory from here, or I can go to inventory from the top menu here. I click on inventory and then I choose new item. The moment I click on new item, we have this new window opening in front of us that says Inventory Master, Add Item. Before we proceed, let's just get a clear understanding of the fields here, at least some of them. The first thing or the first field we see is the item code. The item code is very simple. You can enter the barcode of the item that you're entering here, which will be the item code. Alternately, you can generate your own item code, which could be a series of numeric or alphanumeric characters as per your convenience. If you're in the automobile sector, you could also enter the part number of the item code. The other option you have is to just press enter and leave it blank, in which case the system itself will give you an item code. Now, if you are entering the barcode of the item, you need to be very sure that the barcode and the item code that you're entering match completely, or else there may be some kind of a confusion later on. The next field that we go to is the item name. The item name has to be very self-explanatory and descriptive, just to avoid any form of confusion. After which we come to unit of measure. All products are measured in forms of quantity, so we measure them in terms of kilograms, liters, packets, pieces, as the case may be, depending on the products. To your right, you also see something called group and category, which at the moment has been disabled, but we will see how to enable this and learn how to use this too. Here you see tax class, HSN code, price per unit, opening stock, and all of that. How are we going to use all of this? We're going to learn through examples by entering these items and also categorizing them into groups and categories. So let's start with the first item that you see on the screen here. What I see is a can of Del Monte baked beans. Now, you see that there is a barcode here. I can enter the same digits as the barcode. I could create my own code, or I could just press enter, in which case the system itself has given me a code. As I mentioned earlier, the item name has to be very self-descriptive. So what I'm going to do here is, since we have different companies that make baked beans, I'm going to enter this as Del Monte baked beans. I do that and I press enter, after which I come to the unit of measure. In the unit of measure, I can see all the options that I have. I need to select cans, so the easy thing for me to do is just type in CA, and I've already got the option for cans, after which I press enter. Now, the moment I press enter, it takes me to the tax class. However, before I go to the tax class, what I need to do is just come back to cans. I need to enable group and category. So to enable group and category, what we need to do is we need to go to setup in the top menu. Here, click setup, click on preferences here, and I see the options, default supply type, and what I do is I keep pressing enter. Enable item grouping. The option given here is no at the moment. I need to enable it. Choose the options, click yes, rather choose yes, enter, keep entering, keep pressing the enter button till I reach save, and I save. As you can see now, the group and category option has been enabled. To add groups or items, I can come back to inventory here on the top menu, select item groups or categories, and I can also select add new category from here. However, let's just take the easier option. I'm going to hit escape, so I come back to the window I was at, and I use the add button here. I click on add, and now it's asking me to put in a group name. Now, since we're going to add a lot of canned goods, I put the group name as canned foods, and I press enter. Takes me to the main stock. Maintain stock. By default, the option is no. I need to select yes. Supply type will be goods. It is goods after all, and I save this. After which, now I need to add the category. So, as you can see, Del Monte baked beans, but then again, there will be other companies that also make baked beans. So now I need to categorize it, or there are different kind of canned foods. So now we've got this group created as canned foods. But now, when you saw the items on the list, we saw that we had baked beans, we had tuna, we also had sweet corn. So I now need to add a category, which will be more like a subgroup. So here it says uncategorized. Again, now I need to go back to add here, create a category. So I'm going to create a category here called beans. And under the group canned foods, and I press enter again and save. Now we come to the tax class. The moment I press enter, we come to the tax class. The tax classes, if you maintain GST, it is the GST item. Rather, all items today have a GST attached to it. So if you're maintaining GST, you need to enter the GST amount in this tax class. In case you don't maintain GST, you can leave it as nil rated GST, press enter and move on. However, considering that we file GST, this item comes under the GST group of 5%. So I type G, I get the options, and I select GST 5. We're going to assume that the HSN code, which is the code attached to the GST, is 0710. So I'm going to type in 0710 and I press enter. The price per can here is, assuming that the price per can here is 55 rupees, I punch in 55, press enter, and now I need to enter the opening stock, which is the stock that I have with me now. So let's assume I have about 20 cans of these. So I punch in 20 and I press enter and enter again. This data has been saved successfully, and the inventory master fields here have more or less cleared out, which allows me to enter the next item. So I repeat the procedure. I'm going to enter this can of sweet corn, and then I'm going to enter the tuna. So same procedure, item code, barcode, or my own code, or I allow the system to generate a code by just pressing enter. Again, the name has to be very, very specific. Del Monte, it's a sweet corn. The unit is in cans. Group has automatically, it will come to canned foods. However, now the category here will need to change. I'll need to add a new category. So I click on add here again, and I define the category, which is sweet corn. Enter, 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 and save. Again, the GST percentage here is 5%. The HSN code is again 0710. The price per can, let's assume this to be 45. And now I have an opening stock of 10. Save, enter, saved. And now I repeat the procedure for canned tuna. System gives me the code. So I've got here Bumblebee tuna. It's in cans, canned foods. All I'm doing is just pressing enter. See, I don't need to create another group now because the group has already been formed. But yes, I will need to create a new category again. So I add category. I put it under the category of tuna. So tuna under the group canned foods. Enter, 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 and save. Here I need to change the GST percentage now. Let's see how we do that. Same way, I type in G, I get the options. This, let's assume, entails a GST percentage of 12%. I select 12 and hit enter. The HSN code here, assume it to change to 1602. Price per can is at 85. And I have an opening stock of, let's say, 15. I press enter, enter, and saved. So we've entered these 3 items under one group, 3 different categories which we've created on our own. Let's see how all of this has been entered. All we need to do is go back to inventory here at the top menu, select list of all items here, and now it shows me all the items that I've entered. So I've got Bumblebee tuna, group is canned foods, category tuna, the price per can, and my opening stock. Now this stock will increase when I purchase, and this stock will decrease when I sell. When I sell. Here, if you're looking for particular items, all you need to do is go to filter item here. You could filter it by groups. You could filter it by groups. So if you're filtering it by groups, press G. If you're filtering it by categories, press C. And when I do that, now it's giving me the options here. The first option here I see is category beans, canned food. Here I see all the categories that I've created. Right, so I've got beans, sweet corn, tuna, and another one by default which is uncategorized. So let's see if I've got beans, canned food, load data, and it shows me that I've got 55 as opening stock. 20 cans as opening stock with a price per can of 55. We hope that this thing has been explained well enough. In case you've got any doubts, please feel free to leave your comments below. Leave your contact details and we will definitely get in touch with you. Until then, have a great one.